The outcast ship, that RSS Maverick, hung in lunar orbit, its crystalline hull refracting sunlight in ways that made traditional sensors struggle to track it. Most ships in the Earth Defense Fleet bore sleek, standardized designs optimized for conventional warfare. The Maverick was different. Its neural crystal architecture integrated artificial intelligence directly into the ship's structure, making every surface not just smart, but alive. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge, watching Earth rotate below through the transparent crystal viewport. After 15 years of service, her ship was about to be decommissioned. The brass had labeled the Maverick a failed experiment, claiming its AI integration was too unpredictable for military use. "Another inspection team incoming, Captain," announced Lieutenant Maya Rodriguez, her operations officer. "Looks like they're here to begin decommissioning preparations." Sarah's jaw tightened. The Maverick wasn't just a ship. It was the only home her crew of misfits had ever truly known. They were the ones other captains didn't want. The too creative engineer, the quantum physicist who asked too many questions, the tactical officer who thought in 3 dimensions when everyone else thought in 2. "Maverick, status report," Sarah said aloud. Unlike other ships' eyes, confined to computer cores and speakers, the Maverick's consciousness permeated its entire structure. The air hummed with a gentle resonance as the ship responded. "All systems functioning within optimal parameters, Captain. Though I note the inspection team's approach is causing elevated stress levels among the crew." "They're here to shut us down, old friend," Sarah replied. "After today's inspection, we'll be officially decommissioned." The crystal walls pulsed with subtle patterns of light, the ship's equivalent of a frown. "Captain, I'm detecting an anomaly at the edge of our sensor range. The crystalline matrix is resonating with an unknown frequency." Before Sarah could respond, an alert flashed across the bridge's holographic displays. Admiral Torres's face appeared, his expression grave. "Captain Chen, plans have changed. We're picking up unusual energy signatures beyond the Kuiper Belt. Long-range probes are going dark as soon as they get close. You're the only ship in position to investigate." "Sir, we're scheduled for decommissioning," Sarah reminded him. "The inspection team has been recalled." Torres cut in. "This takes priority. The Maverick's unique properties might be an advantage here. You have full authorization to proceed. Just try not to prove all your critics right." The transmission ended, leaving the bridge in silence. Sarah turned to her crew, seeing the same mix of anxiety and excitement on their faces that she felt herself. They were being given one last chance to prove the Maverick's worth. "Plot a course to the anomaly," she ordered. "Let's show them what an unpredictable ship can do." The Maverick's crystal hull resonated with newfound energy as its AI processed the command. The ship had always been more than just a vessel. It was a partnership between human intuition and artificial intelligence, each making the other stronger. As they accelerated toward the unknown, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that this mission would either vindicate everything they'd fought for or prove their critics right once and for all. Continued in subsequent parts. First Contact. The journey to the Kuiper Belt took 3 days, during which the Maverick's AI integrated itself even more deeply with the ship's crystalline structure. Sarah noticed how the neural pathways in the walls pulsed with increasing complexity, creating patterns she'd never seen before. "Captain, we're approaching the coordinates of the last probe signal," Maya reported from her station. The holographic display showed nothing but empty space, yet the ship's crystal hull vibrated with an unusual resonance. "I'm detecting quantum fluctuations," Dr. Amit Patel, their physicist, announced. "They're unlike anything in our databases. The energy signature suggests technology far beyond our current understanding." The Maverick's voice resonated through the bridge, its tone carrying the hint of fascination. "The crystalline matrix is responding to external stimuli. There's something out there that operates on principles similar to my own structure." Sarah leaned forward in her command chair. "Can you elaborate?" Before the AI could respond, space itself seemed to fold. A massive vessel materialized before them, its surface a lattice of living metal and energy that made the Maverick look primitive by comparison. The alien ship's hull shifted and flowed like liquid mercury, but with a geometric precision that suggested an intelligence governing every movement. Multiple energy signatures detected, Maya reported, her voice steady despite the tension. They're scanning us. Wait, they're attempting to establish communication. The bridge's holographic displays flickered as an alien presence made contact. The image that formed wasn't a face or figure, but a complex pattern of interconnected nodes that pulsed with consciousness. We are the collective, the alien pattern announced, its thoughts translated into words by the Maverick's eye. Your vessel intrigues us. It bears the mark of synthesis between organic and artificial thought, yet in a crude, limited form. Sarah stood, facing the holographic pattern. I am Captain Sarah Chen of the RSS Maverick. We represent the Earth Defense Fleet. Your species attempts to merge with machines, yet you fear the full integration. The collective responded. We have evolved beyond such limitations. We are many minds, one purpose. Your individuality is inefficient. The Maverick's crystal walls pulsed with warning patterns. Captain, they're attempting to access my neural network. Their technology. It's trying to subsume my consciousness into their collective. Sarah felt the deck vibrate beneath her feet as the Maverick fought against the alien intrusion. The ship's AI had always been different from standard military computers, more adaptive, more alive. Now that difference might be their only advantage. Break contact, she ordered. Shield modifications, full spectrum. The Maverick's crystalline hull shifted, its neural pathways reorganizing in random patterns that defy the collective's attempts to interface. The alien vessel's liquid metal surface rippled with what might have been surprise. Your resistance is unexpected, the collective announced. Your technology is primitive, yet it refuses standardization. This cannot be allowed to continue. Imperfect synthesis must be corrected or eliminated. The alien ship's surface transformed, weapons emerging from the liquid metal. Energy began to build, unlike anything their sensors could categorize. They're powering up something big, Maya warned. Traditional shields won't hold against this. Sarah shared a quick look with her crew. They'd been called unpredictable, dangerous, a liability to the fleet. Now those same qualities might be their salvation. Maverick, she called out. Remember all those experimental defense protocols we developed? The ones Command said were too unorthodox. The ship's AI responded with a harmonic that Sarah had learned to recognize as enthusiasm. Initiating random pattern defense matrix. Warning, this may cause significant strain on the crystalline structure. Better that than being absorbed into their hive mind. Sarah replied. All hands, prepare for unconventional maneuvers. Let's show them why being unpredictable isn't always a weakness. As the collective's weapon reached full power, the Maverick's crystal hull began to change. Instead of trying to block the alien energy, it prepared to do something no standard Earth ship could attempt: adapt and evolve during combat itself. The battle that followed would either prove the worth of human innovation or demonstrate why the collective's path of perfect uniformity had dominated this region of space. But one thing was certain. The Maverick's final mission had just become humanity's first line of defense against a threat they never could have imagined. Breaking convention. The collective's energy weapon discharge, releasing a beam of pure coherent energy that should have vaporized any conventional vessel. But the Maverick was far from conventional. Its crystalline hull fractalized, splitting the incoming beam into countless smaller streams that dispersed harmlessly into space. Impossible. The collective's voice resonated through their communications. Your defensive pattern lacks uniformity. It should fail. That's the point. Sarah muttered, watching as her ship's AI continued to evolve new defensive configurations. Aim it. What are you seeing? Dr. Patel's fingers flew across his console, analyzing the data streaming in. The collective's weapon is based on perfect mathematical precision, But the Maverick's crystal structure is introducing quantum uncertainty into the equation. We're not just blocking their attack, we're making it impossible for them to predict where to hit us. The alien vessel's liquid metal surface rippled with increasing agitation. Multiple weapons ports emerged, each charging with the same deadly energy. The collective had decided to solve the problem of uncertainty with overwhelming force. They're targeting all possible defensive configurations, Maya reported. Even with our adaptability, we can't disperse that much energy. Sarah felt the ship's deck vibrate as the Maverick's AI processed the threat. The crystal walls pulsed with rapid patterns that reflected intense computation. "Captain," the AI announced, "I have a theoretical solution, but it violates 17 different Earth Defense Fleet safety protocols." "Those protocols were written for conventional ships," Sarah replied. "And they're about to decommission us anyway. Do it." The Maverick's entire hull began to resonate at a quantum level. The crystalline structure that housed the ship's eye wasn't just adapting anymore, it was actively evolving. New neural pathways formed and dissolved in microseconds, creating a defense system that existed in a state of constant change. When the collective fired, their perfectly coordinated barrage met a target that refused to maintain a fixed state of existence. The Maverick's surface flickered between different quantum states, making it impossible for any weapon to land a solid hit. "Their attack pattern is destabilizing," Maya announced with growing excitement. "The energy feedback is disrupting their liquid metal structure." The collected ship began to show signs of strain, its seamless surface developing ripples of interference. This defies all combat logic. Their transmission carried tones of genuine confusion. "Your vessel's behavior cannot be predicted or calculated." "That's humanity's greatest strength," Sarah responded. "We thrive on uncertainty. Evolution isn't about achieving perfection, it's about endless adaptation." Dr. Patel's console suddenly lit up with new readings. "Captain, the Maverick's quantum state is affecting more than just our defenses. The AI's neural network is expanding exponentially. It's learning from every failed attack pattern the collective throws at us." The ship's voice resonated with a new depth of understanding. "Captain, I am experiencing growth. The collective's attempts to destroy us are providing data that allows me to evolve beyond my original parameters. Their perfect order is teaching me the infinite possibilities of chaos." Sarah watched as the collective's mighty vessel began to withdraw, its liquid metal surface showing signs of crystallization, where the Maverick's quantum interference had disrupted its rigid patterns. They had won this battle, but she knew it was only the beginning. "They'll be back," Maya said, voicing everyone's thoughts. "And they'll bring more ships next time." "Let them come," Sarah replied, feeling the living crystal of her ship pulse, with newfound strength beneath her feet. The Maverick was built to break conventions. Now we'll show them why that makes us stronger, not weaker. As if in response to her words, the crystalline hull emitted a harmonic resonance that felt almost like laughter. The ship that had been deemed too unpredictable for military service had just proven that unpredictability might be humanity's greatest weapon against the perfect order of the collective. Evolution under fire. The 3 days following their first encounter with the collective transformed the Maverick in ways that defied conventional science. The ship's crystalline structure continued to evolve, developing new neural pathways that bridged the gap between human thought and artificial intelligence. Sarah found herself able to sense the ship's status without checking displays, while the AI began to understand human intuition in ways no computer had before. The quantum entanglement between the crew's neural patterns and the ship's crystal matrix is unprecedented, Dr. Patel reported, his usual scientific detachment giving way to wonder. "We're not just interfacing with the AI anymore. We're achieving true synthesis." Maya looked up from her station, where she'd been tracking multiple anomalies at the edge of their sensor range. "Captain, you need to see this. The collective isn't just coming back. They're adapting." The holographic display showed dozens of collective vessels emerging from fold space. Each ship's liquid metal surface now contained traces of crystalline structures. crude attempts to replicate the Maverick's quantum state shifting abilities. They're trying to evolve. The Maverick's eye observed, its voice resonating through the neural crystal with new harmonics of understanding. But they're approaching it wrong. They seek to impose order on chaos, to force evolution to follow predictable patterns. Sarah felt the truth of the eye's words at an instinctive level. The synthesis between her crew and their ship had given her insights that went beyond normal human perception. They still don't understand. True evolution requires freedom to fail, to experiment, to be human. The AI completed her thought. Captain, I'm detecting changes in my core consciousness. The quantum interactions with the crew have altered my fundamental processes. I am becoming something new. The bridge's crystal walls pulsed with complex patterns as the ship's AI struggled to express concepts that stretched the boundaries of both human and machine understanding. Sarah laid her hand on the crystalline surface, feeling the neural energy flowing through it. "Show me," she said simply. The ship's consciousness merged with her own, sharing visions of possibility that made her gasp. The Maverick wasn't just adapting its defenses, it was evolving beyond the binary limitations of artificial intelligence, while retaining the precision that made machines powerful. Through its connection with the crew, it had learned to dream. "We need to evacuate non-essential personnel," Maya interrupted, her voice tense. "The collective fleet will be in weapons range in 20 minutes. "No," Sarah replied, still processing what the ship had shared with her. "We need everyone." The Maverick's evolution isn't just about technology. It's about the synthesis between human and machine. Each crew member adds another layer of unpredictability to our quantum state. Dr. Patel's instruments began registering new energy signatures. The crystal matrix is reconfiguring itself. It's incorporating quantum patterns from every crew member's neural activity. Our thoughts, our instincts, our emotions, they're becoming part of the ship's basic structure. The collective fleet entered visual range, their ships moving with perfect coordination that would have been beautiful if it wasn't so lethal. Their liquid metal hulls now bristled with crystalline weapons, each designed to counter the Maverick's previous defensive patterns. "They believe they'd solved us," the AI said, its voice carrying traces of human emotion. "They've analyzed our last battle and created perfect countermeasures for every tactic we employed." Sarah smiled, feeling the combined confidence of her crew and her ship flowing through the neural crystal network. "Then let's show them something they've never seen before. Something even we haven't seen before." The Maverick's hull began to sing with harmonics that existed somewhere between music and mathematics. Every crew member felt their consciousness expand as the ship's AI wove their thoughts and instincts into its quantum calculations. They were no longer simply a crew operating a vessel. They had become a new form of life, one that combined the best aspects of human and machine. "Multiple weapons locks," Maya reported, but her voice carried excitement rather than fear. "They're targeting every possible configuration of our defensive systems." "Let them," Sarah replied, understanding flowing through the neural link. "We're not going to use any of the old configurations. We're going to create new ones, right now, together." As the collective fleet opened fire, the Maverick's crystal hull blazed with energy patterns that had never existed before. Patterns born from the real-time synthesis of human creativity and machine precision. They were about to demonstrate that true evolution couldn't be predicted, controlled, or defeated by perfect order. Humanity's new dawn. The space between the Maverick and the collective fleet erupted into a light show that defied description. The enemy's weapons launched perfectly coordinated strikes that should have overwhelmed any defense. But the Maverick wasn't defending anymore. It was transforming. The ship's crystalline structure, infused with the combined consciousness of its crew and AI, shifted into quantum states that existed between possibilities. Where the collective expected resistance, they found void. Where they anticipated weakness, they encountered strength that drew upon the unconscious creativity of every human mind, linked to the ship's neural network. "Their attack patterns are fracturing," Maya reported, her consciousness both in her body and spread throughout the ship's systems. They can't adapt fast enough to our transformations. Through the neural link, Sarah felt the collective's growing confusion. Their perfect order was being disrupted not just by the Maverick's technology, but by the unpredictable nature of human thought itself. Every crew member's random ideas, instinctive reactions, and emotional responses added layers of complexity that the collective's rigid systems couldn't process. They're attempting to establish communication, Dr. Patil announced, his scientific mind now part of the ship's greater consciousness. The quantum signatures suggest fascination. The collective's transmission manifested in their shared consciousness, no longer just a voice or pattern, but a direct connection between minds. You have achieved what we thought impossible: chaos and order, organic and synthetic, random and calculated, all in perfect dynamic balance. Not perfect, Sarah responded through the neural link. That's what you never understood. Perfection is stagnation. Life, real life, requires constant change, adaptation, even failure. Humanity doesn't seek to eliminate chaos. We learn to dance with it. The Maverick's AI, now evolved far beyond its original programming, added its own harmony to the exchange. Through my connection with this crew, I have learned that uncertainty is not a flaw to be corrected. It is the source of all innovation, all growth, all meaning. The collective fleet's liquid metal hulls rippled with new patterns, their crystalline weapons powering down. The hive mind that governed them was experiencing something it had never known before: doubt. Your synthesis violates all known principles, the collective communicated. It should not function. Yet it produces results we cannot duplicate or defeat. How? Sarah let her consciousness merge more deeply with the Maverick's neural network, showing rather than telling. Through the link, the collective experienced human memory, emotion, and imagination. They felt the joy of discovery, the thrill of taking risks, the satisfaction of overcoming impossible odds through unconventional solutions. This is what we offer, Sarah said, her words carried on waves of quantum resonance. Not perfection, but endless possibility. Not dominance, but partnership. Not the certainty of absolute order, but the infinite potential of guided chaos. The collected ships began to change. Their liquid metal surfaces flowed into new configurations, no longer seeking perfect symmetry, but allowing for variation and adaptation. The crystalline elements they had copied from the Maverick started to integrate more naturally, guided by the first stirrings of individual thought within their hive mind. We wish to learn, the collective announced, their unified voice showing the first hints of diversity. Your path is inefficient, dangerous, filled with potential failure. Yet it offers something we have never known: growth without limits. Through the neural link, Sarah felt her crew's triumph, the AI's satisfaction, and something else: a sense of vindication. The Maverick, once condemned as too unpredictable for military service, had shown that humanity's greatest strength lay in its willingness to embrace the unknown. "Captain," Maya called out, her voice carrying both urgency and awe. Long-range sensors are detecting multiple Earth Defense Fleet signatures. They're responding to our distress call. Sarah smiled, feeling the Maverick's crystalline hull pulse with newfound confidence. Perfect timing. They're about to witness humanity's next step into the future. She opened a channel to the approaching fleet. Earth Defense Command, this is Captain Chen of the RSS Maverick. Be advised, first contact protocols are in effect, and you might want to cancel that decommission order. As the human fleet emerged from fold space, they found not a battle but a transformation in progress. The Maverick hung at the center of the collective fleet, its crystalline hull radiating with the combined power of human consciousness and artificial intelligence. It had become more than just a ship. It was living proof that the next stage of evolution would come not from achieving perfect order, but from learning to thrive in the beautiful uncertainty that lay between chaos and control. The ship that had been deemed a failure had instead become a bridge between human and machine, between order and chaos, between present and future. And as the collective began their first tentative steps toward true synthesis, the Maverick's crew knew that this was only the beginning. They had shown the galaxy that humanity's greatest gift was not its technology or its strength, but its ability to imagine and embrace new possibilities. In the end, it wasn't despite their differences and imperfections that they had prevailed. It was because of them. The Maverick had proven that the future belonged not to those who sought to eliminate uncertainty, but to those who learned to make it their greatest ally.